Hey everybody, what's going on? Alan here. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. This week is going to be a little different, back to what I used to do. I never really quit. I just have been quitting. Anyway, it's a repair video, and we're going to do a Hydro Boost unit. I've never done one before. This is an 02 Cadillac Escalade with the 6.0. Let's check it out. So right off the bat, so this is your Hydro Boost unit. You're missing the big black vacuum booster, and it's replaced with this piece of magic here. And instead of using vacuum to assist your brakes, it uses power steering fluid to spin a pump or something, I'm guessing, and that assists you with the brakes. But as you can maybe see down in there, it's leaking pretty bad. Pretty bad. And we weren't sure exactly where the leak was coming from at first, because everything was just so covered in it, in fluid, and was wet and grimy. So we did replace one pressure line hose first to see if maybe that's all the leak was this pressure line hose. Yeah, we're gonna replace the one from the pump to the booster now, since we already got the one from the booster to the gear. And then we're gonna replace the whole booster as well. Alright, here's what we got. I go to AutoZone and get Duralast stuff because I got a commercial account there, and I can get a little discount on the prices through commercial, and I try to pass that on to the neighbors, you know. Not a big deal. And for myself, because of course who doesn't want cheaper parts? So I've got the second pressure line hose, the remanufactured in Mexico booster with a lifetime warranty, so it's okay. And then a whole gallon of power steering fluid, because I heard in one video maybe it could take up to 4 quarts. So, and then there's a pretty crazy bleeding process. It seemed like a lot to me. He was talking about like 90 cycles of turning the wheel and pressing the brake, you know, to finally get all the air out. But I guess if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. You know, I've learned my lesson with putting in dry pumps or putting in pumps. What am I trying to say? Not priming them, you know, and then you burn up, or you get a sound right after you install a brand new pump, and you're wondering, was it you or is that the pump? And, all right, so the system's already dry here because the leak is so bad. Nothing on the stick, and it was whining. And yeah, I told him we should replace the pump too while we're at it, but I don't know. You know, we're just gonna see if maybe we'll so I want to start on the inside first. I'm curious on how this is going to come apart, if it's going to be a big old pain in my butt or not. Okay, so I think if you guys can see this, okay, so there's a metal clip right there. I think you just gotta like use a screwdriver and lift it up over, and slides right out. And then I'm not sure on this white plastic switch if it's just sandwiched in there and it'll come off easy once you get the clip off, or what, but probably. And then if you notice here, it's leaking on the inside. I kind of wiped it a little clean, but if you check out my finger here, that is some grime I wiped off of that. And you can also see the 4 nuts you're gonna have to remove right there. One on the inside, one up in a square pattern, and I think that's it for the inside. So I'm not gonna do that yet. That's probably, those 4 bolts are probably the last 4 things you want to do. So let's get these hoses off first. All right, so 8. Why would you do that? You sat fine until I didn't even touch you. I just said capture. I just realized you didn't have to say the word GoPro before the word, well, C-A-P-T-U-R-E. All right, anyway, 18 mil flare nut wrench. We'll take off the pump to Hydro Boost line, which is the one we're going to replace. And the system's already dry, if I didn't mention that, because, well, it ran dry. I guess there's still some in there after all. Make sure you give this thing a good cleaning afterwards, because the power steering fluid and brake fluid will eat your paint. They'll eat, you know, coatings off of the brake booster too. GoPro, capture. GoPro, capture. I guess just called a return line. It's not under high pressure. It doesn't have any crimped ends on it. This is where you lose a couple layers of skin yanking so hard. And this other hose, pressure line hose that goes from the booster to the gearbox, is a 16 mil for some reason. Well, I don't know if that's because we changed it to the Duralast, so I don't know if the original would be an 18. I don't remember. Okay, so now we'll do the 2 bolts for the master cylinder, and we're gonna see if we can just, you know, scoot it. I'm not trying to undo the brake lines. They've got all this coiling here, so I mean, yeah, really you could move it as far as you needed to. It just depends on how much you want to deform the lines. All right, 15 mil with an extension. Should take this first one off. Oh, a little bit of the harness kind of in the way. There we go, we can work around it. Or you could have just grabbed a 15 mil wrench, I guess, like a spanner wrench. Is that right? That was lucky. And then the same thing on the other side. There we go. Now the brake lines and the studs are going to hold this thing in place, so you don't got to worry about it falling. There we go. Shh. Quiet, you. And that's loose. And there is a significant amount of wetness in there. And so what leads us to believe that it's all booster and not master cylinder is because this level never changes. They never have to top it off. And it's this one that they got to keep filling up down there at the power steering pump constantly. So we're pretty sure all this fluid is just power steering fluid. It's like insanely. Oh, there we go. Push it forward. Oh, snap. Okay. I just gotta lift it up while pushing it back. Except we're gonna have to come down or up, I think. Ooh, there we go. That was easy. There we go, a little wiggle. Make sure I remember which way that goes on. Okay. There's 1 bolt, 3 more to go. And as you can see, I'm just using a swivel and an extension to kind of bring myself out here. And with this pedal being able to move around, kind of helps out. But I like to get the hardest bolt first, while the other ones are all tight. It's off. There we go. And that's a 15 mil also. Alright, that one was pretty easy. Lift the pedal up for that one. pull this back. Alright, so a couple things you want to check is the length of this and the length of this nipple on the inside. Make sure those are looking about the same, and they did look about the same to me, so in she goes. God dang, this thing is heavy. Okay, back inside to tighten it up. Get a couple threads started on all of them, and I'll just use the zip gun and send it. Can't get in there. Ow! I just bit the emergency brake pedal. That tasted good. Yeah, that's probably tight. Can't forget this guy. As this and scoot it back down. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, now it locks it back in there. And are we done in here? Like what? One bolt on this side here. Oh, there it goes. So you can see right next to the pitman arm where the wrench is attached. That's a 16 mil also. And I think I'm going to turn my wheel to the left a little more just to give myself a little more room. Alright. Just do that one little tiny turn at a time. And this is going to dump all the fluid in the reservoir. So be prepared for that. Either vacuum it out first or yeah. Okay. That is all the way in the armpit.
Yeah, that's another one though.
Right?
Yeah, I just want to pull up real quick. Does your dog get along with other dogs?
I don't know really.
Okay, we'll probably bring the kennel then. Yeah, here's Cody. He's a good boy.
There you
his
go.
dog Meadow it's his girl's dog, but dude's got a big old sore on her leg right now, man. It's freaking scary, dude. She's been like licking it, and it's like getting worse. It's craziness. Crazy. Yeah, I just want to stop by real quick. That way you two.
Alright, so you see this bolt right there? You gotta take that off because that's holding a bracket. That's a 15 mil as well. Oh. Okay, well, that works too. Brackets down there. Get the hose out. All right, so 92093 is the right part number for me anyways, even though it has this guy on the side that I don't have. It comes with a plug, so we can plug it. But that's the only hose that AutoZone had to offer that even had this shape. So they designed it to be universal when they included this plug. Also has 2 new O-rings we'll have to throw on there, and then that hose will be good to go. And we should get a little bit of lube on that actually. Let me find some old power steering fluid somewhere. Oh yeah, no, it's good. It's just kind of a tight fit. There we go. Cinch that down. Put some fresh O-rings on it. Oh wait, which way is it going? This way, right? I'll grab the flare nut wrench and finish her off here. Good. Okay, that's probably tight there. Stick this thing down there with the bolt on it. There we go. I'm going to put a little bit of power steering fluid in her. And right now our level is right at the top. We're almost at the, it's like at the bottom of the neck. Top of the reservoir, but bottom of the neck. Alright, with the front end in the air to make it easy, we're going to spin the wheel back and forth left and right a bunch of times. Like 5. It's 2. 3. 4. 5, and then press on the pedal like 5 times. Let's go see what the level looks like. Oh, went down a bunch, and it is full of air. So that's a good sign. We'll just keep doing that until it stops going down. Alright, topped it back off. and it was to the top. I overfilled it on accident. Spun the wheel and hit the brake one more time, and it went down to there, which is like just below the neck where it was the first time. I did it another time after that and nothing changed. No more air bubbles, no more lowering. So we're gonna fire it up and see if it goes down. And that did not suck it down at all. So let's give it a full fire. Alright, now I'm gonna, you can see it's working out some air bubbles. I'm gonna spin the wheel around and pump the pedal, do that whole thing again while it's running now, and see what happens. Well, it wasn't so bad actually. The booster part anyways, the bracket and is in that lower bolt on that hose, that sucks. But it's all back together. It sounds great and there's no more whining. Here, let me just turn it on for you. Okay, well, let's see if I'm a liar. Oh yeah, that's fine. Look how easy this is to spin too. That's awesome. That's easy to spin. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. I appreciate you watching and hanging in there. I hope this helps you, of course, and gives you guys the confidence to do it, because it's really super easy for just the booster. It's a little tight. If you've got a puller and you've got time and some shade and maybe it's not too hot outside, you might want to remove that serpentine belt and that power steering pump pulley if it's not too much trouble for you. I mean, I did it without removing it, but it sucked. It's hard to get the bracket, reach over the fender in like two hands. You got to reach down in there, and it was hard. But until next time, guys, peace.